Hi everyone, welcome back to the weekly Armchair Kickoff podcast. You were tuned into another installment of Devil's Advocate. I am joined by Rach, Dean, Reese, Chels, and Grant. How are you all today, lads?
All good.
Yeah, pretty good.
Good,
Nervous.
good.
I'm all right, thanks.
Obviously, we have a very exciting game to look forward to tomorrow. So we're just going to talk through it, how we're all feeling about it. But first, I want to kind of touch on the Wolves game on Sunday. Obviously, we got to see some of the kids on Sunday. So the likes of Alanga, Ahmed, Shoretire, Hannibal, they all have massive potential in them, as we've seen as well under 23s. They've all played so well, and it was great to see Alanga get that goal as well. Rach, how are you feeling about the kids getting a game on Sunday?
I was chuffed with the lineup and the way the kids got all the praise because they deserve it. Because that team that they put out, yes, it was against Wolves, but we've seen against Wolves previously that it's usually an absolute dead game. But I was sitting there thinking, hang on, where's our boring 0-0? Like, it was so exciting. And Elanga, he could have had about 3. He was everywhere, popping up here, there, and everywhere. He's just got something about him that I loved. And his goal was absolute bullet header. Fair play to him because he absolutely smashed it. It was really good to see Ahmad again. I know we've seen him before and he obviously scored in the Europa League, but it was great to see him again. And he looks like a massive talent because his ball control and his first touch is just, I was just watching him and you just think, wow, he's got something about him because the way he controlled the ball and like he lost possession a few times, but he's young. So he's still learning the league and learning the team as well. But I couldn't be happier with them two, the two that started as well. And obviously it was great to see Shoretire and Hannibal to get his debut as well. Chuffed. Couldn't be happier.
Yeah, I think Ahmad as well. He's really shown touch the class any time that he has played, which is really good to see. And I think because he's so young, he's so much more development to do as well. So there's massive potential in him. Dean, what did you make of the kids getting a game on Sunday?
I was absolutely buzzing with Alanga's goal, and the delivery was brilliant from James as well. But I was buzzing for him because I'm excited about him with quite a while. Like, he just electric up front. Ahmed as well, just electric pace, great potential there. I was really excited to see him all. Fantastic.
Yeah, it was absolutely brilliant. And Hannibal coming on as well, he showed he looked really bright and he looked really up for it as well. Grant, I'll come to you next. Were you impressed by the kids on Sunday?
Yeah, it was a very good performance from Manchester United. And I think what is sort of lost in the rhetoric and the story is the fact that Manchester United went a whole Premier League season unbeaten on the road. And only two other teams have done that. Arsenal, when they went invincible in the 2000s, and Preston North End all those years ago. And a lot of pundits, a lot of fans, maybe been a little bit disappointed in Man United season, but I think they should actually look at that and say, fair play to Ole and his team for delivering that. In terms of the game itself, there was a bit of interest in the game because obviously it was Nuno Espirito Santo's last game in charge of Wolves as well, so I think there would have been a little bit of an emotional send-off for Wolves that were hoping to put in a good performance, but I thought United controlled much of the game. Alanga was outstanding. I thought Van de Beek did very well. He won the penalty, which Juan Mata scored, and I think he put in a really good shift. And Molineux is always a very difficult place to go and get a result. United don't have the best record at Molineux. I've lost a couple of times down there in the past. So I know it was the last game of the season, and yes, there was a lot of kids out there on the pitch, but 3 points to end the season with a very good away win. A very impressive performance.
Yeah, definitely. I think as well, Van de Beek actually played quite well in the pivot. So it doesn't necessarily mean he has to play as a 10. Chels, were you impressed with the kids on Sunday?
Yeah, very impressed. Like, obviously, I'm happy that he played them. Obviously, last game of the season. Obviously, I did want to end on a high, and we did. We won, which was great. But it was nice to sort of give the kids a chance in a game that we didn't need to win it. Obviously, it was nice to win it anyway. Like you said, Ahmad was brilliant. Like, we've seen how good he can be. We've seen his composure on the ball. Like, he's the making of a superstar. If he carries on like that, he's going to be a really, really great addition to the squad. Obviously,
great touch as well.
You are.
Such a great touch as well.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously Alanga as well, like absolutely fantastic. I'm always really, really buzzing when obviously a youngster gets their debut goal. So obviously you could see, to be honest, from the very beginning, you could see that it was coming. Like he was just taking his chances, and it was that's something that we can struggle with sometimes. So it was obviously nice to see that. Obviously, good goal as well. Really, really good header.
Yeah,
again,
very good header.
and good, obviously good delivery from James as well. So impressed with that. And yeah, it was, like I said, it was a nice way to end the season on a high. I think it gave us a little bit more of a feel-good factor as well, because it was the kids who got us the win as well, and obviously the wider squad. Again, obviously Matt's penalty was really, really nice to see, because obviously I know we've all been saying that it potentially could be his last season now, so I know Amy's crying.
Look who's on the back of my jersey.
But yeah, it was nice to see. Obviously, that kind of added to the feel good factor as well. And all in all, really, really impressed. And like I said, I did want to end on a win just to consolidate the season and just kind of go into the final with that as well. So yeah, all in all, really, really happy with it.
Yeah, like it was so nice to know that there was kids out on the pitch on Sunday, and none of our first team players, and we still managed to get the win. Like it. And we've always struggled against Wolves, and we've always said they were like our bogey team, but they actually went out and they actually played quite well, to be honest. Reese, what did you make of the game on Sunday?
Trev, get in there. I thought it was actually a decent game, to be honest. I think, is there any point in me reiterating what's already been said? Probably not. I'm probably going to take a different approach and look at a few other players. Go to hell. All right, you know what? I will answer that question since it's been asked to me. I'll answer that question. Good assist, shite player. There we go. That's it, summed up. I'm not going to change my opinion of him. Even if he goes on and scores like 30 odd goals in one season, I'll still say he's shite. But back to that, there was one player in that game, bar Van de Beek, that impressed me. Obviously, exception is the young lads. They were absolutely fantastic, so they're going to get high praise. Telles, for me, had a great game on Sunday. And I've not said that once all season, because he hasn't convinced me once. But on Sunday, he genuinely had a very good game, and I'm hoping that this will kick-start. If it doesn't, then I don't know where we go from here. But no, I thought defensively, it's not his strongest suit, but he was actually quite decent at the back. No, I will not. I don't even own a pair. I hate them all. I don't know where we go. I don't know where he goes from here. That's my only concern, because he's played very little amount of games, because Luke Shaw's been absolutely fantastic. But even when he has played, he's like Van de Beek. He hasn't convinced enough. Like we all say, he can whip into the box. I've not seen any evidence that he can actually deliver a good cross. Like, I'm right-footed, I can develop a better left-footed cross than that. Like, it just says it all, really. But I'm hoping that he kicks on from here. But other than that, yep, Matic, I thought he was superb. Twansevi, I thought was fantastic as well. Another solid game for him. Who else actually had a decent game? I don't know, maybe Brandon Williams. He was actually not too bad. But other than that, there wasn't really much else. I thought Hannibal's brief cameo was impressive. The nutmeg was a very interesting, sweet moment. Shortiri getting in there briefly. Yeah, it's Sir Matt's birthday. It's also one of my friend's birthday as well tomorrow. So that if we don't win, I'm blaming the defeat on her. And then back to, I thought the pivot was actually very surprising. It caught me off guard. Matic and Van de Beek, I was expecting it to be a little bit different, but I had no problems with it. It just shows that even when we make changes, it did work, and we made changes that were appropriate. The one thing that stood out to me yesterday was each individual substitution: Will Fish, Hannibal Megbury, and you've also got Shola Shortiri. It was not a senior substitution. I thought that was fantastic by the manager. I'll give him praise for that. Like the fact he had the balls to not make a senior sub, he made youth subs, gave them minutes when he could have brought on a Rashford, he could have brought on a Cavani. He had that option and he chose not to. I think that's something that needs to be commended. And we take it from there on to tomorrow. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, definitely. Look, it was so nice to get the win on Sunday, and as Grant said as well, went a whole campaign unbeaten away from home, which is fantastic achievement for Ollie, no matter how many people say there's no progression there. Obviously, we're in the Europa League final. We finished second place in the league. Obviously, City ran away with it. But look, I personally see progression within the team, and if he's provided with the right players this summer, I reckon we could actually be. Now, I do think next season could be quite tight, because I think there will be a lot of recruitment between clubs, but I do think no team is actually going to run away with it next season. I think it is going to be quite tight.
We're winning by 5 points.
One race, we'll have to clip that up.
Well, I already predicted at the start of the season we're finishing second, so I may as well take it to the next level. So fuck it, we're winning the league next year by 5 points.
Winning Champions League too.
No, we won't win the Champions League, but we'll be close.
Treble's coming home. That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm like.
Naturally.
For
fuck's sake, Keane.
Dan James off the bench scored the winner.
This is.
I will personally donate some cash if this happens.
This is what really is going to happen, right? This is what really is going to happen. If Dan James scores tomorrow, right, and I've now gone on verbal record, if Dan James scores tomorrow, all my social media is getting deleted.
That's a bit extreme now, to be honest.
It's not extreme, it's accurate.
This time tomorrow night, we're all going to be sitting down on the edge of our seats, probably. No United, because we're pure second half FC, but we'll be coming into half time this time tomorrow. So obviously there's a bit of nerve striking today, and I'd say we'll all be nervous waking up tomorrow morning. But Rach, overall, how are you feeling about the Europa League final tomorrow?
I'm absolutely shitting it. Like, genuinely. You know what? I've come to the realisation that football stresses me out way too. I get way too invested, and just the whole game, but the whole build up to the game, leading up to the game, I have these little things that I do. Like, I have to do a workout before the game, otherwise we'll lose. I have to sit down with a hot brew as the game kicks off, otherwise we'll lose. So I'm really, really nervous, but I'm so excited, because the prospect of seeing us win our first trophy in so many years, and yes, it's the Europa League, and people can take the piss all they want, but at the end of the day, it's still a European competition. Yes, it's the Champions League, but you've got to start somewhere, haven't you? Yes, we went out of the Champions League in a really, really shit fashion, but you've just got to go for everything you're in. We're not in the Champions League. Fuck it, just pave over it, forget it. I am choosing to completely disregard the Champions League's existence. Yep. It doesn't exist for me this year.
What's the Champions League?
I have no idea. No idea.
I heard that's just some competition between a club that got taken over in 2004 and a plastic club across the city.
Yeah,
I don't think it's relevant, eh?
It's a sister of the Super League.
Exactly. But no, I am really nervous, but at the same time, I'm absolutely buzzing just for the prospect of seeing us lift a trophy, and for Ollie more than anything. And there's some of the players in our team who massively deserve it. I know Maguire is one of them, but he unfortunately doesn't look like he's going to make it. But there's so many players in our team that I feel deserve their performances and their kind of impact on the team to be recognised with a trophy.
I agree.
And we just need it for the confidence, and for the young kids. I think it'll really kind of snowball in an effect that if we win that first trophy, we'll get a taste for it then. This is kind of wishful thinking, but we'll get a taste for it, and then we'll go on and we'll say, no, I want more. We want to win more. Because obviously we are a young team, but there's not a lot of winners in there, apart from obviously the more senior players like your Pogba, your obviously Mata, and all the senior players. But we need that confidence boost, and just for Ollie as well to shut everyone up, because it's pissing me off.
I'd like for Matic to play, simply because Matic has been here 4 years. His last trophy was the year we won the Europa League. He won the league with Chelsea. Then he joined us in the summer. He hasn't had a trophy with Man United in these 4 years. So I would like, for the sake of it, I would like Matic to, even if he gets moved on this summer, which I don't think will happen, but in the event that he could potentially be moved on, I would like him to at least have one trophy, and what better than it being a European trophy?
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah, I think as well with De Gea might be leaving in the summer. I think a good send off would be getting a trophy for him, to be honest. 'Cause it looks like we're signing Tom Heaton. So yeah, it looks like De Gea could be on the way out. What club we don't know, but we'll have to wait and see. Dean, how are you feeling about tomorrow night?
Also nervous, but I am also confident as well because of how well we played in the Europa League throughout. Like, you know, I know we're going to come to score predictions later, but I do see us winning it, to be honest, although I am nervous. And like you said, we need it for Ollie. Like, it's so bad for Ollie, you know.
Yeah.
I feel that we need a good transfer window then after to follow it up to compete in the league next year if we want to come close to City because they're so far ahead of us. But in regards to the final tomorrow, we need it. Like, I'm confident though from watching every game throughout the Europa League and how well Henderson's played in goal, and I feel that we can do it and we will do it.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like for Ollie as well, I think since Sir Alex, he's been the most likeable manager we've had, and this has been the most likeable squad that we've had as well, which is great to see. And obviously, we're going to want to see improvements in it. Grant, how are you feeling about tomorrow night?
I'm quietly confident. Is that a kind of nervous way to say that I think United have got a chance? I am nervous, obviously, but I have a feeling that if United play their best, they should win the game. And I know that sounds very simplistic, but it really is true. What United need to remember is they've already seen aside two Spanish teams in the competition already in Real Sociedad and Granada, and haven't conceded a goal in those two matches. And I think United this season in the Europa League, on the whole, have been generally fairly comfortable, particularly at home. I think tomorrow night you will see big performances from the bigger, more senior players like Pogba, like Cavani. He'll be relishing it tomorrow night. I think we may see a big performance from Marcus Rashford tomorrow night as well. I think the fact he's just had his book published this week, obviously that's been kind of noted as well. You know, he's been doing a lot of work with Karl Anka. That's been some great work there, and Rashford's been an absolute idol, not just of football, but of society this season. I think that would be, personally, I want to see Rashford win the Europa League because out of all the players in the team, he's done so much work for football, the community, and society. I think he's been absolutely superb. But I'm looking forward to the game. Don't get me wrong, I think Villarreal will give a good account of themselves. I think it'll be an interesting game. They are a tough nut to crack, but they did have a poor end to the season in Spain, aside from a 4-0 thrashing they gave Sevilla. So United on their day should win, but as I just mentioned with that Sevilla result, Villarreal are capable, so just have to be a bit cautious. But I think on the night we should have enough.
Yeah, and I think this is why as well we're not feeling as confident with our centre back pairing, because with the likes of Villarreal, they're going to want to catch us on the counter. So obviously with Maguire there, we might have had a bit more stability. Chels, how are you feeling about tomorrow night?
I'm not gonna lie, I think it only really sank in today, like the nerves. Obviously, I've been looking forward to it all week, and like I've put the day off work because I wasn't missing the build up and everything. Like I'm making a whole day of this. But I was thinking about earlier on today, and obviously how it's literally tomorrow, and then the nerves really started. And now listening to you guys talk about it now, and my stomach feels a little bit. You know what I mean? I feel that
you're gonna make Chelsea sick.
Yeah, I feel a little bit. I feel a little bit nauseous about it now because I'm like, obviously, it hadn't really sunk in that this is the first final we've been in for a good few years, and like you all said, a lot of our players deserve a trophy now. Like we're looking like we're improving, and I think I said at the beginning of the season that we need this trophy for sort of to show the progress, because there is progress there definitely, and even the thought of the players and Ollie lifting a trophy tomorrow makes me feel a little bit emotional. I'm a bit like, do you know what I mean? Like it just, some points in the season, some of the low points we've had this season, you see how far we've come. We've got to a final, and like you said before, yes, it's not the Champions League, but who cares? It's a trophy. It's a major European trophy. It doesn't matter what it is. It shows progress. And I am confident. I know we can do it. I know, obviously, sometimes we don't turn up on the night, but you'd think this would be quite a big deal for a lot of the players because, it's our first chance at really winning a trophy. We're in the final. And those moments of madness like we had in the Roma game, for example, I don't want to see that because, obviously, my heart will be in my mouth anyway. I don't need to be seeing stuff like that. But yeah, I'm hoping we just need to start on the front foot and we need to just go for it. We can't be going a goal down. We can't. It's not really the time for that. We need to be going in on the front foot. We need to be scoring some goals, and we need to be just taking on the trophy. And like I've said, Villarreal, don't underestimate them at all because they'll give us a good ride, like they mentioned before about the Sevilla game. But I'm not confident, and I'm not confident either. I'm like in the middle. So I don't want to be too confident. Because every time I'm too overconfident. Yeah,
I'm like that. That's why I said I was quietly confident.
every time I'm confident about winning a game, it comes back to bite me. So I'm not confident, but I'm not confident. I just think we're more than capable of doing it. We just need to turn up on the night, and we need to start on the front foot, and we just need to get the job done. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it though. But fingers crossed it all goes to plan.
Reese, how are you feeling?
Well, I see we're getting questions left, right, and centre. So let's see, where am I? It's May 25th, 2021, so fine. Tomorrow, May 26th, 2021, I'm going to be completely fine. I am absolutely confident. Like, I've got no nerves, no misdirection. The stomach is fine. Probably because I'm not human. I'm probably just a machine. I don't know. More like an android than a human being. I don't know, but I feel fine. I honestly feel fine going into tomorrow, and the reason I feel fine is just why shouldn't you not be confident? Like, nah, tell us what you'll do for a Wan-Bissaka goal. I'll do fuck all if that helps. I'll just sit in Mars all day. I am genuinely that confident that we are going to not even concede.
Wow.
Like, I genuinely think we'll win 2-0 tomorrow.
I like your confidence.
Like,
to be honest,
I'm just confident that we'll win. Like, why shouldn't you be confident? Like, we're the best team in the competition left, and no disrespect to Villarreal, but the only thing that's gunning for them is the fact they've got Unai Emery, and last time I checked, we've beaten the Spanish teams this year. So that Spanish curse is gone. Why shouldn't you feel confident? I do. Fucking live it, man.
Love it.
Emery has won a lot of Europa League trophies in the last few years.
He also lost a final to Chelsea.
Yeah.
That is true.
Sort it. See it, say it, sort it.
I was fighting up until today, and then today came, and like when I came home from work and I was thinking about doing the show, and I was like, oh my god, I'm so nervous. Like, my stomach's actually doing cartwheels now as we talk about it, but I reckon we will get the win. But I just feel like it's going to be one of those nervy first halves, like we always have. And then we'll come out in the second half, all guns blazing, and you know yourself, second half FC. We'll move on then to, obviously we have injuries within the squad. Maguire is actually going to be out. Maguire won't be playing at all. Fred and McTominay are both injured as well. Which means we have.
Wait, so are they both definitely out?
We don't know. It's 50-50 of both of them, I think.
Pogba and Matic, baby.
But I think if Scott or Fred are fit, Matic isn't going to play because Matic played on Sunday. So that's why I'm thinking that one of them must be fit because Matic played on Sunday. So you don't actually know. So I'm thinking probably Lindelof and I prefer Lindelof and Tuanzebe in the defence, to be honest.
Join the dark side.
I don't know about the midfield, because if McTominay and Fred are both injured, then it could be a chance that Matic actually does play, and maybe it would be good to see Matic and Pogba in midfield. Rach, what do you think about the injuries, and who do you think will step in and ahead of them?
It's hard. I think the defence it's a bit easier than the midfield, because I do think, obviously, that Lindelof's going to play because he's more experienced than the other two. But I'm just not sure on who he's going to pick, because obviously you've got Bailly, who has a little bit more experience than what Axel does, but Axel absolutely smashed it out of the park at the weekend. And yes, it was Wolves, but he's still put up some really, really good performances in Man United shirt. He's also had some really bad performances, but so has everyone in a Manchester United shirt. I do think he is going to go with Axel. My
only thought process on that.
Yes.
My only thought process on that is, right, on Sunday, Bailly actually played on the left of the two.
Did he?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking, is that him maybe reeling him into the final and trying to get him play on the left of the two? I don't know. But
because that's the main issue for me, is because the last time he played Bailly and Lindelof was out of position, he was switched, and he didn't play well at all. So I think if he is trying to condition Bailly into playing on that left-hand side where obviously Maguire is supposed to be, then I don't think I would have a problem with that. But the only thing I have a problem is Lindelof playing out of position, because we all know they're going to need to be switched on massively. They're not going to get pelters like you would if you were playing like you Cities or like PSG or something like that. They're going to try and hit us on the break. We're going to have a lot of possession. They need to stay switched on, and they need to be in their preferred positions to do that. And I think if you just push Lindelof out of position, I mean, apparently he's not great anyway, but it will just make things just a little bit worse. So I would definitely prefer Tuanzebe, but if Bailly does play out on the other side, then I don't have a problem with either of them.
Yeah, that was the only thing that stuck out to me on Sunday, to be honest. Was it him getting ready to try get Bailly warmed up on the left side of the two for the Europa League final? But look, Tuanzebe had a good game as well, so it's hard to know which way he's going to go with that, to be honest. What do you think of the midfield then? Who do you think is going to play in midfield if Fred and McTominay are going to be injured? Right.
No, I'm just thinking.
It's hard to know. Like
it's hard, because I think that Pogba, Fred and maybe McTominay and Pogba. I genuinely don't know.
Oh, I thought you were thinking about 12 men on your team sheet. That's what I was trying to figure out, if that's what you were thinking about, 12 men.
Probably. Well, there we go. I actually haven't written the team down, so it's more than likely that I will either put
12 men.
Yeah, probably. So I can probably write that down. But I'm not 100% sure. The midfield is kind of a wild card that I genuinely have no idea where he's going to go with it. I think it just depends on who's fit and
what I think the midfield is. I think Pogba needs to play in midfield.
Yeah, definitely.
We definitely need a lot more movement from the midfield, and I think with Fred and McTominay playing together, we just don't have that. And obviously, we get the best out of Rashford when he's playing on the left. So I think definitely for tomorrow, Pogba does need to play in midfield. Dean, what do you think?
I think he'll go with Tuanzebe, and I'd be happy with it if he does in the back. Obviously, if Maguire's not fit, which he is probably 90% not going to play. And in the centre of the park, I think sitting in front of the backs, Pogba and Matic are going to start, but I prefer Pogba and McTominay just because of the legs that McTominay has and passion that he has for the club for the final. I prefer to have McTominay there, but who knows if he's fit or not? We'll have to wait and see. But I'd rather see McTominay and Pogba there, and I think in the backline he will have Lindelof and Tuanzebe, but just because I think like Boy maybe too much of a hazard. I don't want him hacking anyone down in the box or anything. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Damn, that's 10 players, babe.
Oh, yeah.
I'm rubbing up on you. What can I say?
I think we kind of all feel the same way about Boy because he can be very rash. Now, there was comment, or Danielle was saying there in the comments that Boy said something today. Now, I was at work, so I didn't actually see what he said. Does anyone know what he said?
I wasn't impressed at all. Like, he was spoken about how he's played one game, then he'll be substituted for 5 games. So he's basically like bitching and moaning about his lack of minutes. So I may have retweeted that, and my exact words were, "Stop crying, bitching, and moaning, and actually stay fit."
I mean,
if he can stay fit for more than 2 games, he can actually get minutes. But he doesn't stay fit for more than 30 minutes during training. He got treatment during training today as well. That says it all.
Okay, that ruled him out, so it was definitely Tuanzebe. So, I don't think he should risk Boy, to be honest, because the man's very rash. Grant, what do you think? Who do you think will play in centre half and midfield?
Well, I think Lindelof is a certainty. I'm not as convinced as a lot of the panel are about Lindelof this season. I find him a little bit of a liability as well. Sometimes he gets caught out of position too often, particularly in the smaller case games, I think. I think in the smaller case games he gets caught out a lot. He has got good pace, to be fair, but I think he could be a bit up and down at times. I think Bailly is very rash. I completely agree. I like Tuanzebe, but is it a big risk to play him in a Europa League final? That's the question I'd ask.
Well, he did put in a big performance against PSG, didn't he?
He did. He did.
And
if he replicates that sort of game, absolutely starts. But this is the problem. He's too inconsistent still.
That's true.
He just doesn't have a lot of experience. Whereas I think we had Bailly in 2017, but he was injured, wasn't he? What a shock. So maybe this is kind of his time to make up for it a little bit. So coming into the final and dropping a good performance, I don't know. It's touch and go who Ollie's going to pick, but I think the rest kind of picks itself.
Yeah, Chelsea, what do you think?
Yeah,
I think with every, I just wanted to finish up my point. With that 3 defenders that we're thinking about, they all have pros and cons to their game, but they all have massive mistakes in their game as well. And I think that's the point. Danielle said I was a bit of a brave man, and I probably am. But what I'm saying is I do think that next season we will see hopefully an improvement from the 3 of them. And when Maguire gets back from injury, that collective will improve, and they'll hopefully start jockeying for that coveted number 1 partnership at the back, because it's all about partnerships across the team. But as Dean said, Tuanzebe had a super game in that game against Paris. If he could replicate that tomorrow night, then for me, next season he has to be the number 1 centre half alongside Maguire.
I think as well, if we go in this summer and get a defensive midfielder, it'll bring a lot more confidence to our centre backs as well. Chels, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the question is for centre backs anyway, who's going to partner Lindelof? Because I just can't see Ollie dropping Lindelof. Like, it's just, that's one of these first choice centre backs, and I mean, personally, I would have said that I think he would choose Bailly just for the experience, the fact that he's a good centre back, but like Grant said, he is very, very rash, and he scares the shit out of me sometimes, Bailly, because especially in a big game like that, I don't want to see any like stupid rash tackles and giving away penalties, free kicks in dangerous areas, stuff like that. As we know that Bailly does stuff like that. obviously he's a great defender, we know that, but the more I do think about it, no, especially with the treatment and stuff, having treatment in training today, I potentially can see Ollie picking Tuanzebe, and I hope he does. That is the way I want to go. And as far as the midfield goes, personally, I would like to see Fred and Pogba. That's my sort of ideal, pairing. But again, is Fred fully fit? Is McTominay fully fit? I don't know. It is hard to say because, you'd think either Fred and Pogba or McFred, but I don't see McFred starting in this game, especially with a potential injury. So it's, like I said again, it's who's going to partner Pogba. I can't see it being Matic. I can't see Donny starting. So probably even Fred or McTominay, depending on who's the least injured, probably. But yeah, that's my take on that.
Yeah, the midfield is definitely the hardest one of the lot, I think, because we do two injuries in midfield and two of them are regular starters for us. So it's hard to know now. I do personally prefer McTominay and Pogba. But I think either or, even if Fred partnered Pogba, I wouldn't be too bothered about it, to be honest. Reese, what do you think?
I think tomorrow he definitely needs to.
Pogba. Absolutely love that.
Any combination involving McTominay just sounds like McSuicide. Avoid, please.
Reese!
Leave Scott alone. That's your fellow countryman.
No, he's adopted Scot. Let's just be clear. He was born in some place in England.
If he scores against England at the Euros, you'll be delighted.
Yeah.
I'm saying nothing if that happens, right?
Guaranteed.
if that's the winning goal at Wembley, I'll take it. If that's the winning goal at Wembley, I'll take it.
I will troll you if that happens. I don't do trolling, but I will troll you if that happens.
You can try your absolute best. I get slaughtered on this show anyway by Flaming Trevor and Keane as a tag team, so it's clearly having a triple tag seems to be the way it's going. But in terms of what I think tomorrow, I'm going to be bold. I'm going De Gea in goal because I think that's accurate. I think the back four isn't going to change. I think it's going to be Lindelof and Axel as the centre back partnership with the usual fullbacks. I think it's going to be Matic and Pogba. I think you use your strongest midfielder there. Thank you. You use your strongest midfielder in terms of Pogba for the overall brilliance in midfield. He is by far our best midfielder. Like there's just no debate to what his quality is. And this is the moments he wants. It's a final. It's a chance for him on the big stage to show what he's capable of. Put in a massive performance and get a trophy. It would be fantastic. Just ask Fred for his passport as well. And I like them both. That's the funny thing, but I'll have banter with them. I think you put Matic in there purely for the experience as a final. You want your experienced players in there. And then you have the fact that he's our natural defensive midfielder as well. Have the sense of a natural position, a player in there is comfortable. Just let him sit in front of the midfield. In the defence, it's fine. It's not a problem. The front four, it's simple. It's going to be Cavani up top. Rashford and Greenwood are on the wings, and it's going to be Bruno in the attacking midfield. It's just going to be that's it in a nutshell. And I'm fine with that. Do I see any difference? Potentially, I think if one of them's fit, McTominay could play there beside Pogba. I'm not too bothered. I don't see Bailly playing unless it's off the bench. I'd rather have Will Fish as a third choice centre back. I'm generally looking forward to it. We'll see how it goes. No, we will not have that. Thank you very much. No. No.
Oh my God.
No.
You're getting some stick tonight, Reese. And I'm loving it.
I don't know what it is about me. It must be I don't know what it is about me. It must be the charm. It seems to pay off. But I'm actually intrigued to see how the game goes. Whatever team we pick, as long as it's the best players in the best positions, if it's some bizarre choice, then okay. I like a little bit of chaos. But I want the best players in the best positions where we can actually get this game won, because I don't want to be going into the final where it's players in an uncomfortable position and then we have to make a switch at like half time to actually go and win the game in the second half. I want this game done by 60 minutes.
Yeah. There could be a debate as well that he may start Henderson, even though he played De Gea the whole way through the Europa League.
I hope not.
I don't think so. I think De Gea starts.
Yeah,
I think
so as well.
you never know.
I think because Dino played. Did Dino play on Sunday? Yeah, because Dino played on Sunday. I think David De Gea is almost a shoe-in to start because.
Yeah, I think so.
Especially because he's experienced more than anything. I know Dino's had a few shaky moments recently as well, and he is young and inexperienced. So I think to throw him into a big cup final to say, there you go, it's kind of a bit much. So I think David De Gea would provide a little bit more calm back there than, because I think Dino would be absolutely fucking cacking himself. I would be 100%. I think he will go with David though. I think he should as well.
have,
in my opinion.
so both Rory and Paul think it'll be Donny, Bruno, and Pogba in midfield. That is not going to happen.
No,
Donny. I'm that confident that Donny will not play any minutes tomorrow.
No, I don't think so either.
I don't think you're going to. I don't think you're going to see the number 34. Like, he's not going to be like an Aguero like shock face where he's like. You're not going to see that tomorrow. Like, Donny's not going to go off the bench. Like, Greg Chambers will probably be celebrating like a maddie like with that, but I don't see Donny getting off the bench tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't either, to be honest. I don't know if I like that midfield because I don't know if Donny will have this as much security as the others would. But look, obviously our midfield is still 50-50 on who's going to play, but hopefully Ollie does the right thing and actually plays Pogba in midfield, because I think Pogba playing midfield tomorrow is an absolute must.
Yes, 100%.
We'll move on. So in terms of predictions, this is my favourite part, right? I'm actually going to go with United to win 3-1. I think we'll go 1-0 down. And we'll come back. And then we'll come back and win it. And then we'll come back and win it 3-1. I think Pogba and Bruno are going to put an absolute masterclass. I think Rashford could quite possibly get a goal tomorrow. What do you think, Rach?
I'm going to go 2-1, just because I feel like it's going to be a little bit closer than that. I think it's going to be 1-1 throughout most of the second half, and I want that last minute winner. I don't
know if I want that nerves.
I know, but this is what I was saying earlier. Do you know the ecstasy that you get when it's a last minute winner? Do you know when the last minute penalty in Paris when Rashford scored, that ecstasy that you feel? I want that.
Euphoria.
Yeah, I want it. Like, I just want that thrill back. Obviously, if we go up 3-0 in the first half, I'm not going to complain about it, but I do think it's going to be a little bit more cagey than that, and I think we're going to play it out of the bag in the 82nd minute. I think we're going to get the winner. It's going to happen.
That moment.
Dean, what do you think score will be?
I'm going to go for a 1-1 and then a win in extra time.
Oh no! I don't
know. Trust someone to pick extra time.
I'm going to go for like a little half time and a 1-1 full time.
Oh god!
Could be worse. Could be penalties.
Oh hell
no!
Help! No.
Grant, what do you think?
Well, you stole my prediction, Amy. I was also going for 3-1. I will go for Cavani to score a brace. I think the big man will deliver once again. And as Paul's alluded to there, we're going to be singing that all night tomorrow. I think Villarreal will get a consolation goal maybe in the last 5 minutes. I think United will be fairly comfortable. I think they'll be 1 up at half time and then they'll run away with it in the second half. 3-1.
Chels, what's your prediction?
I feel like I'm overdue a clean sheet prediction, so I'm going to go 2-0 United, and I'm going to go a Greenwood and a Cavani goal.
Love it. Reese?
Time for a bonkers prediction.
Oh, here we go.
No, yeah, fuck it. I'm going Man United to win 2-0. Pogba to score a free kick. I'm also going Pogba to score a free kick. I'm going Rashford to score, Bruno to get an assist, Cavani to get an assist, Carlos Bacca to miss a penalty, and a Villarreal player gets sent off.
Jesus Christ.
You really thought about this.
Are you stacking that on Parry Power or something? Yeah. My goodness.
No, I'm just, you know what? I'm just in a good mood. Fuck it, you may as well.
I'm going to run through the comments here and go through everyone. So Paul thinks 2-1 United, Bruno and Cavani to score. Rory thinks 4-0 Cavani hat-trick and a Bruno free kick. John thinks 4-1 Cavani, Bruno brace and Greenwood. Trevor thinks we win 3-1 with Lindelof howler, followed by Cavani.
I'm coming for you, Trevor. I'm coming for you. If it's not me, it'll be Rachel.
Keane thinks it'll be 2-0 United.
I just want a word.
Keane thinks it'll be 2-0 Cavani in the late Bruno Fernandes penalty. Love that. Victoria's Secrets thinks 3-1 win with a French goal, Bruno and Cavani. No. Katie thinks it'll be 3-1 United. Danielle thinks 3-2. I don't know if I can deal with that.
Don't like that. No.
But anyway, hopefully this time tomorrow we will be nearly celebrating that we're winning the Europa League final. Hopefully one hand to be on the trophy by this time tomorrow.
I'm that confident we'll be cruising by 75 minutes. We'll just pass the ball about for 15 minutes. Like, I've got 2017 vibes. I mean, the fact is, like, we played a good side in that final and the game was done like within 75 minutes, that I generally think we're going to have the same vibes, that we're just, even though it's a slightly more experienced team, like older players, I generally think we're just going to dominate this game. We're going to control it. We'll score twice within 60 minutes. A player's going to get sent off. A penalty's going to be missed. And then after that, we'll see either De Gea or Bruno lifting the trophy as captain. Bob's your uncle.
Hope so.
Right, so lads, we leave it there. I'll go around. You can shout out where everyone watching can find you on your socials. Rach, do you want to shout away?
Yeah, of course. It's RachMUFC7 on Twitter.
Dean, are you even on Twitter? I don't know.
I am. It's DeanMF96, I think. I don't use it that much, but that's me. Thanks for having me, Edwin.
No worries at all. Grant?
You can follow me at that link there, at Stato_Grant on Twitter, where the doctor will see you.
Think about it.
Chels?
My Twitter is ChelUTD.
Reese?
You can find me in La La Land, which is Twitter, at United Venom 7, where I'm injecting lethal venom into morons. It's no hard to find. They find me. So get over there.
No worries. Also, do not forget, we have a giveaway. If you want to head over to the Twitter page at the Weekly Armchair, we're giving away a 98.99 home jersey. Competition will be closing tomorrow at 2:00, and the winner will be announced tomorrow. So please go onto the Twitter, like and retweet, and follow the Weekly Armchair on Twitter. So you can also find me as well on Twitter on @U18. And thanks a million to everyone in the comments for getting involved. Don't forget to smash a like on the channel and sub if you're not already subbed. And hopefully we will be celebrating tomorrow. So hopefully we'll see you all towards the end of the week.